Well, hey everybody, John Rethlin here. For the next 2 weeks, you get Unhinged Me. Flying solo as the Durbinator is on vacation, so this is my review of NXT Takeover 25. And 25 is something that perfectly describes the state of the NXT women's division now, because it is 25,000 motherfucking leagues under the motherfucking sea, because Triple H, for whatever reason, thinks that booking Shayna in the same damn match with the same type of style and the run-ins and all the bullshit and everything is a good idea and a way to push the women's division properly. Except it fucking isn't, because now all the women, despite how talented they are, all feel the same. They all either taken losses, they aren't booked well, or anything, and Shayna is like, standing on a plateau and everything, dragging 2 sacks of shit in Duke and Shafir, and I'm sorry, they are fucking rotten. They are fucking terrible. And yeah, I'm goddamn pissed. Now, I get it. A heel winning, I got no issue with. It's the fact that it's the same damn thing they've kept fucking doing for a fucking year, and I'm pissed about it. Now, let me get to the actual show first, and then I'll get pissed again. But I just wanted to start that off now so you know how pissed off I am. Tommaso Ciampa on the kickoff panel, out of a neck brace after just 3 months after neck surgery, and great. Firstly, I am so happy that he is doing better. Apparently, he's getting back into better shape. Maybe he will be back by the end of the year. Who knows? Neck injuries and neck recovery is tricky. So who knows what will happen. 25 shows worth of history recapped. There's been some great memories. There's been some blah takeovers. There's been some good takeovers. And this one actually started out pretty goddamn good. I will say that much. Get Roderick Strong and Matt Riddle. I did so many bro puns. Check out my Twitter, by the way, if you watch this in the next couple days, as I was actually pretty proud of the bro puns that I made. But these guys really did have a hot opener and everything. 2 great submission skills, skilled wrestlers. Just great mat work and great, yeah, and that's it, the key word, mat work by Riddle. Do you get it? It's his first name. I'm sorry. I'm trying to add a little humor here before I get pissed off a little bit later. But the hard strikes, the apron spots, of course, as we know, the hardest part of the ring, and there were a lot of bumps on the apron. Again, the hardest part of the ring. Great exchange. I love the near falls. I love the fact this one used some false finishes fine. The problem is the main event used a few too many false finishes, and I'm going to get into that. Now, this was good stuff. You had, Riddle's back being the main focus, because, of course, Roderick being the Messiah, the backbreaker. Just some great storytelling here, a lot of knee strikes or whatever, and just a bunch of other strikes. A lot of really, really good stuff. I did enjoy this. The bro mission, and then, I don't remember what they called it, but it was like, it looked like a tombstone, but then he ended up hitting like, tombstone, but then he just dropped down and dropped down like in a slam or something like that, and, Matt Riddle got the victory. So he trapped his legs and fell down and everything. So, okay, whatever. I don't remember what it was called. It was a bit of an odd finish, but Matt Riddle winning, I wasn't upset about. I was actually thinking that Roderick might win, because I thought, okay, maybe he'll factor into the finish later, except he didn't. Riddle winning was fine. I will say this, even though I did get 2 wrong, I ended up winning because I called the main event correctly, even though I didn't think I would. So Riddle and Strong did have a fine opener. However, the match of the night had to be the NXT ladder match, the NXT tag title ladder match, that is. The Street Profits, Forgotten Sons, Blake and Cutler, and, Jackson Riker did make his appearance later. Oney Lorcan and Danny Burch versus the Undisputed Era, Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. And let me just say this. This match is just too insane to call. You have to go watch this match. The match of the Takeover, easily. One of the best NXT matches of the year. I would be very hard-pressed to put this any lower than top 5. And I'm including all takeovers and everything. I'm including the UK takeovers. I think I got to put this in the top 5, at least right now. I will say this. I did get this wrong, and I'm not upset I got this wrong, because I didn't know what the fuck was going to happen. The Street Profits did have a cool entrance. They entered through the crowd and everything, and they were dressed all different, so I was like, okay, maybe they are going to win. And the problem is I picked the Forgotten Sons to win, because I just thought that they were going to go that route. Now, they did do some great stuff. There was a nice suicide dive by Blake, while a ladder was being held up by 2 guys. I don't remember exactly who it was. I think it was one of the Undisputed. Maybe it was both the Undisputed Era. But he dives and hits his head right into the ladder. I mean, he knocks the guys down, but it's like, yeah, hurl yourself stupidly at something. Good tactic there, Blake. He busted his head open. Thankfully, I hope he's okay. He looked like he really rocked himself. He probably got a concussion. I'd be very surprised if he didn't. And Wesley Blake, by the way, a really talented wrestler, and a lot of people forget about that because Blake and Murphy seems like ages ago, and in NXT years, yeah, it kind of is. They were tag team champions all the way back in 2015. Yes, hard to believe. They were one of the longest reigning NXT tag team champions. Buddy Murphy and Wesley Blake. Headed by Alexa Bliss, well, managed by them. Then O'Reilly landing badly on this one spot. He just landed back first on a freaking ladder that was like V'd, but like staying up. It just looked so fucking painful. There were so many bad spots in this. And I mean bad spots for fucking hell. So many hard hits. Some great... This was a terrific match. These guys went out and said, okay, we've been overlooked, especially like the tag team division, because let's be honest, the War Raiders title reign was a complete flop. It just was. Them winning the tag titles wasn't a problem. It's just the problem is they had pretty much a flop title reign after that and relinquished them. Vacating a title doesn't always work in NXT. Now, it worked when Paige vacated the women's title. When Asuka vacated the women's title, it didn't work out all that well. But back to this match. Lorcan and Birch, rather, they did a, cool German suplex spot, while a ladder was being held. That was some great stuff. O'Reilly's tooth got knocked out. O'Reilly took so many goddamn bumps. And later, they showed Bobby Fish in an arm sling. Now, I don't know what the deal is. I am not listening to or watching Triple H's, NXT conference call or Facebook Live thing. So I don't know what happened to Bobby Fish. Please let me know in the comments. I hope he's okay. Because I worry after him coming back from that knee injury, if he is injured again and out for a while, that's going to kind of spell doom for him, at least as an active competitor. Now, he's still really good in the ring, but if the injury bug gets him, they might just make him a trainer. And I think it'd be better to make him a trainer, honestly. Don't release the guy. The guy's got plenty of potential. I'm not trying to say that, but if this injury is as bad as his knee injury was, and I kept him out a while, it might not be all that good. Maybe it's just precaution. Maybe he just needs a couple months off and he'll be back in time for Takeover in Toronto, I believe, in August. And by the way, the NXT UK is doing a Takeover in Cardiff, I believe is how it's pronounced. That's going to be the same day as All Out, AEW's All Out. But the UK Takeover is taking place earlier in the day, well before All Out is, going to start. So don't worry, folks. You got time to watch both. Take the day off from work if you can. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask for the day off from work tomorrow. Or maybe I'll just wait a couple weeks and then ask and talk to the Derbinator about it, and we'll just watch both shows, review them, and all that. But back to this match. There were way too many spots to call. I'm just going to say that right now. This was a fucking terrific match. Riker got in, cleaned house. They made him look invincible. I will say that. Now, shout out to Evelyn of WWE. I believe she pointed that out. And that's one thing I noticed with him. And he was great in TNA, when it was TNA, as Gunner. They didn't give him a whole lot to work with, because he was part of a Gunner and Murphy or whatever, that kind of stuff. And not Blake, or not Buddy Murphy, but another Murphy. The guy wasn't bad, but I don't remember much about him. But then he had that feud with James Storm and a few other things. But once he got to WWE, I was happy to see him, because I'm a big fan of him. They did make him look invincible because everybody just had to eventually dogpile on the guy, because he was beating up everybody. He was taking out everybody, throwing, I believe it was only Lorcan into a ladder set up in the corner. A lot of ladder bumps. These guys are going to be feeling it. If there aren't like ice baths, massages, acupuncture, whatever, if these guys aren't tended to right away, the most out of anybody on this show, then I don't know what the fuck's wrong with the medical staff. I mean, hopefully no Z-Packs are involved. Keep that stupid doctor away. But we then get everyone getting everyone just beating him up. I mean, just beating the shit out of Riker. They finally just dogpile him. He's outside. He's finally taken out eventually. Montez does this cool dive, though. And, I mean, does this friggin' dive where he just dives over a ladder. And, I mean, yeah, Riker didn't quite catch him, though, to be fair. I think the spot was mistimed, so I'm not going to blame anybody there. I'm not going to blame Montez for diving too short or Riker for not being there. It just was a badly timed spot, but those things happen. Fortunately, everybody seemed to be okay besides Bobby Fish again, who I said was in a sling. We then get Undisputed Era and Lorcan and, Birch. They're, having a battle there up on the ladder. Cutler and Blake knock them off the ladder. And I think it's Blake that's up on the ladder because Angelo Dawkins hits a spear through the ladder, diving through the ladder and taking out Cutler. And then Blake's there. Looks like he's about to get the title. Montez jumps on there, knocks him off and everything. He takes a hell of a bump off there. Montez forwards, grabs the tag titles. The Street Profits, the Merrill Street Profits as I call them, getting the prize hanging high. And then we have that, and we have, you know, African-American tag team champions, and that is great. That is fucking great to see. Like, and I'm talking in NXT, by the way. And I know New Day were tag team champions for a while. I'm not, and WWE on the main roster, I'm not knocking, but it's just cool to see the Street Profits finally get their just due in NXT. Because the NXT tag team division has been kind of seen as a joke. And not because of the talent, just because of the fact they haven't been booked all that well. And then we get Candice backstage with Io during her workout, encouraging her, unless that was just that one dream I had. But then we get to Breeze versus Velveteen Dream. Tyler Breeze versus Velveteen Dream. North American Championship. I wanted to like this match more than I did. It was a good match. Breeze certainly showed that, A, he can actually still wrestle. He can do some really good stuff. It's not like the guy's over the hill or anything, but he hasn't been used all that well on the main roster much at all. Really good strikes. I did enjoy the fact that Breeze targeted the knee and the Velveteen kept selling that, and that was some good stuff. Velveteen kind of dialed his look back a little bit, like maybe he's going to have a more lavish look for TakeOver Toronto. Get a lot of super kicks, tombstone switches where it's like one tries to do tombstone, another does, and they do that. Very close near falls. Breeze did have one point where I believe he had a supermodel kick on Velveteen and drug him and was trying to drag Velveteen back there, drag a limp black man. So apparently Tyler Breeze took the police part of Fashion Police all too seriously. I don't regret that because it's a joke. It's a joke. I shouldn't have said it, but you know what? Heck, I'm not going to add it because you know what? It's a joke. It's a goddamn joke that I said. You know what's not a joke? Velveteen Dream winning. And Velveteen came back, hit the Dream Valley Driver, and then hit, the Purple Rainmaker 1, 2, 3. We get a selfie of respect. Press S to pay respects. And then we get, that, and we get Damian Priest, who's apparently Punishment Martinez's new name. So we get, let's see, Punishment Priestez. That wordplay sounded a lot better in my head than it did, than it played out. Now we get to Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai. Io does her great entrance and everything. I love the mask. I love the music. I love Io's look. Io has been great. Io was great well before she came to NXT. Let's be honest about that. Did great in Stardom and great everywhere that she went. You really can't find like Io ever being bad in a match when she's allowed to be Io. And then Shayna Baszler comes out, makes her entrance, and she, they do this kind of UFC-like thing where she's walking, like, from the backstage area, and she says to Duke and Shafir, nope, you stay back here. It's like, because I wanted to yell, because your sack's of shit and you can't do anything right. And I'm sorry, I'm sure Duke and Shafir are nice people. I'm sure they're nice women. I believe it's Shafir that is married to Roderick Strong. I believe they have a kid, and that's great. She can't fucking do anything in the ring, and neither can Duke. They aren't very good. They're fucking rotten, and I'm ranting about this now because guess what? We get arm focus by Baszler. I mean, Io hit some good strikes at first, and then the arm focus, and then the arm focus, and then it's the ground-based stuff forever. And I get that they're trying to tell a story. Io has her arm weakened. She can't use her strength, but she can still hit some good moves. But the match became, and not even a good kind of formulaic, because look, I watch New Japan, there are some formulaic matches in there, and formulaic stuff has been happening since well before NXT ever came along, in WCW and everything, all companies, ECW, whatever, even though ECW went all insane, but WCW in the Turner eras, Jim Crockett eras, the 70s, the 60s, there were formulas to every single match. You built the stuff and everything. The problem is, formulaic can be entertaining at times because everybody has a set routine. Shayna's is boring, and I have nothing but respect for Shayna still being in the ring, getting in the ring as late as she did. She was 35 when she started wrestling. Now, usually I'm kind of ageist about that, and I will say I'm not going to be ageist here. But, let's be honest, her title reigns have been boring. Her first title reign, Kairi Sane beat her, and then she won the title, and then Shayna won the title back at Evolution, which wasn't all that good because that was the first appearance of Duke and Shafir, and they couldn't fucking do anything. And Shayna looked weak because she couldn't beat Kairi, who is incredible in the ring, but also doesn't look like she could really put a dent in Shayna. Now, obviously, based on ability, Kyrie is better. But the whole point is that since then, you then had the 2 out of 3 Falls match, which was fucking awful. At War Games 2, Electric Boogaloo. The match against Bianca Belair, which wasn't very fucking good. It just wasn't. It just wasn't. Like, every time somebody gets what... Like, they build the matches with Shayna just fine. Yeah, the other match, I think it was what? Was it Kyrie and Bianca? That was, that was at the... Who the fuck was it? Kyrie, it was whichever one happened in New York. Sorry if I forgot it, but you have that match. And then you had Bianca, I'm undefeated, except you're not. And now they have every single woman has been basically beaten down. Candice has not really been seen as much of anything. She's been feuding with Vanessa Bourne and Aaliyah, who are very, very good as a team. I'm a big fan of Vanessa Bourne. I'm happy for Aaliyah being able to finally find her groove after a number of years being in WWE. But Candice should be somebody they should be focusing on. The problem is they could have done this a whole lot better. Because you had... You had a moonsault to the outside, which was a beautiful move by Io. It was great, but this is where, I'm sorry to say, after the ladder match, the show kind of fell a bit off a cliff. Dream versus Breeze was good, but this women's match, I hate to say it, but I would probably call it one of the worst matches of the year. Now, it was well wrestled. Io coming back, hitting that moonsault to the outside, but then Duke and Shafir are coming down. And Io's distracted for like seemingly forever. Candice runs down there, hits him with the cane. I'd say you hit him in the head, but it's not going to affect anything because neither of them have working brain stems at all. Clearly they don't because they can't fucking do anything. They can barely sell that. They can barely sell the cane shot. They can barely do anything. I'm sorry, I don't think they're bad people, but they're fucking goddamn rotten in the ring. They're fucking terrible. And no, I don't think that they're going to watch it. Dear God, if they're going to watch it, they got nothing better to do with their time if they're going to watch a wrestling fan's YouTube video. But if you're fans of Duke and Shafir and Shayna, that's fine. I'm not saying you guys are wrong. I just don't get it. But yeah, this is just absolutely ridiculous. We get Candice again, hitting the cane thing, and then, Candice Michelle again, or Candice Michelle. Candice Michelle appearing actually would have been nice. Candice LeRae. You know what? Put Candice Michelle in the Royal Rumble next year, in the Women's Royal Rumble. Why the fuck not? Seriously. Have her and Victoria. Convince Victoria to stick around for the Women's Royal Rumble. I'm going off on a fucking tangent here. You know why? Because this match pissed me off. And not because the heel won. Because you had the Terrafuda clutch, or as I call it, the Barracuda clutch. And eventually, Io finally taps, and it was the slowest, limpest tap out where Io's like, fine, okay, I'm done. Okay, Shayna, the match is over. Oh my God, I don't know why Io turned into Alicia Silverstone or Brittany Murphy from Clueless, but I'm going to roll with it. And then, so Io taps. Mind you, Duke and Shafir may have distracted Io, but Io could have still easily won this match. And they didn't have that, and it's like, okay, it just brought the crowd to a screeching halt. Shayna winning, a heel winning isn't a bad thing, but this was not good at all. And then, Io, Io, who, mind you, tapped out, so she couldn't fight out of the Terrafuda clutch, Barracuda clutch, whatever, at all anymore. She couldn't fight out. Okay. She taps out. You think she's going to be over there selling or whatever for a while. Nope, she gets a cane and starts whacking Shayna and beating the shit out of her and everything. And then convinces Candice to hand her a chair. And then I think she hits a moonsault actually before. And then hits a moonsault with the chair into Shayna's ribs. Where the fuck was this fire before? It makes Io look like a bitch. It makes Io seem like the heel. It makes Shayna seem like the baby face. Because yes, Duke and Shafir got in there. They didn't get in there, but they did to cause a distraction. But Io still could have won because Candice neutralized them. Because it's easy to neutralize, Duke and Shafir. Just show them a shiny object or show them a wrestling hold and they'll get confused and wander off and spin around in a circle and fall down. It's like the bat trick where you stick your head on there and everything and you spin around and you try to find... I don't know what I'm saying anymore. But then you get the moonsault with the chair and okay, yes, Io was mad that she lost. But maybe if they had a ref bump and Duke and Shafir had interfered, or one of them had interfered, and Io had been beaten up a little bit, and then fallen to the Terrafuda clutch or the Barracuda, whatever, and been beaten that way, sure, I could see the point. Because yes, Duke and Shafir have interfered a whole lot. They interfered and caused, they in part caused Kairi Sane to be banished from NXT, even though she was going to be called up anyway. It just made Io seem ridiculous. It doesn't do anything for Shayna. It sure as fuck doesn't do anything for the women's division. And it was really, 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 really bad booking. I'm sorry, it just was. It was not the worst thing I've seen, but it's probably the worst women's match I've seen this year. I'm sorry. It just was. It was just really, really fucking bad. And I know somebody's probably going to say, and I know somebody's going to say this, well, what about Kelly Klein and Mayu Iwatani from G1 Supercard? No, that was a good match. It was just badly placed in the card. They worked well together. Io and Shayna had flashes where they could have done some stuff, but the booking, the way they did the stuff with Duke and Shafir and all this bullshit, killed it. The women's division, you might as well put a stake in it, smash it through, and smash it through the heart. Because that's it. The women's division is dead and buried, and they're going to need to try, a goddamn exorcism or, incantation. Bring out a Ouija board. Maybe don't bring out a Ouija board, but bring out something to bring the women back. Because the women are super talented. Shayna is super talented in the ring. She is. Despite her age, despite her more deliberate style, she's great. Io's great. Vanessa Bourne is great. Aaliyah's decent. Candice is really, really good. Mia Yim is good. Bianca is still good. You got other women. You got Casey Catanzaro. Rhea Ripley, I guess, is still in NXT UK. You have a bunch of women in NXT UK you could be using. Where the fuck has Deonna Purrazzo been? I mean, I know Rachel Evers or Rachel Ellering recently got involved in a a drunk driver accident. Thank God she's okay. But you have all these women you could be fucking using to note. You're going to focus on Shayna, who, through no fault of her own, unless she is physically holding Hunter down and making him keep her as champion, which I don't think she would, but whatever. I just don't get it. It's not good booking. It's not like, okay, hey, we want to see this heel get beat up. It's like, okay, you're doing the same shit. Why should we be invested? And that's the bad way to do that. That's a really bad way to book your women. Because it just smacks the women in the face. That's what it does. So yeah, I'm fucking pissed. Am I pissed at Shayna? Unless I find out that Shayna was actually the one that greenlit this and was given the creative control and decide, yeah, let's just do the same bullshit we've been doing for about the last year and a half. Oh, yeah. Okay, let me calm down a bit. Let's get to Gargano and Adam Cole for the NXT Championship. Look, this was a good match. It was also an unnecessary match. This felt like extending the feud for no reason. Now, I'm not saying these guys can't have a great trilogy. Personally, for me, what they should have done is instead of 2 out of 3 falls at Takeover New York, even though I love that match, have Gargano beat Cole. And then you have Cole beat Gargano here, which is what happened. And then you do the 2 out of 3 falls at Brooklyn, or not Brooklyn, but Toronto. And that would have been the way to go. It was a very good match. I think the false finish, bug finally bit this one and sunk its teeth in way too much. They could have done a few less. Now, I get why they did. They wanted to build drama and this kind of stuff, but already, maybe they felt they had to make up for it after the women's match, which was, again, bullshit. And the women's division is fucking dead. Not fault of the town. Creatively, it's dead. Cole's entrance, I don't know who the fuck that rapper was. I don't have anything against him as a person, but I just instantly thought of the Elias thing about Leo Rush. Whose kid is this? That ruined the fucking Undisputed Era theme. I mean, whatever. Maybe he's Adam Cole's friend. I don't know. And by the way, new champion, Adam Cole, Bay. It was a good match. It was a good match. There was no interference. There were teases of interference, but that didn't happen. There was knee focus by Adam Cole. Apron spots, again, the hardest part of the ring. Good near falls, a dive, a dive like, a Gargano does a dive outside and just a kick by Adam Cole. Adam Cole had Johnny Gargano beat multiple times. Yes, Gargano did get the Gargano escape on eventually. There was a Panama Sunrise on the floor earlier. The Canadian Destroyer, in other words. That looked fucking deadly. And then Gargano escaped by Adam Cole, but then the last shot by Gargano, and they're stealing each other's moves and spamming. It's like spamming the finisher thing on WWE 2K or No Mercy or SmackDown, Here Comes the Pain, or SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth. SmackDown, Shut Your Mouth actually would be it. But we had a last shot for 2, a ref bump. Shocking, a shocking ref bump. Shocking that a ref bump happened. Teases of interference. Nope. Cole manages to get Gargano in the ropes. He jams his head into the ground. eventually, hits a Panama Sunrise. Even after, like, Gargano escaped, that kind of stuff. He hits Panama Sunrise. Last shot. 1, 2, 3. Adam Cole is your new NXT main champion. I mean, I was going to say North American champion. I was going to say men's champion. Then I realized NXT champion. Gargano is better than Adam Cole in the ring. All-around package, Johnny Gargano is better. Adam Cole is very good. I think Adam Cole has flashes of excellence. I'm not quite on the Adam Cole train. I get why people like him. I'm not his biggest fan, but I certainly see why people like him. And apparently, I guess Britt Baker was there and in a shot where Stephanie McMahon was showing the crowd applauding. And Britt's just like, oh, for God's sakes, don't you show me. I don't think this isn't going to affect her status with AEW because her and Cole are dating. And I think both companies understand AEW more than WWE would. So I wouldn't be surprised if WWE punishes some people for talking about their significant others and AEW. But they didn't punish Cole here because he won. And he had Gargano's number. Now, this was a good match. The problem is after that epic 2 out of 3 falls match, this match almost felt unnecessary. It was a good to even great match at times. I don't think that their chemistry is quite as good as NXT needs it to be. But that doesn't take anything away from the more than solid efforts that these both these men put forward. But I'm going to be honest, there were two. It was a good main event. Maybe a few too many false finishes, my opinion. Riddle versus Strong was good. The best match was clearly the tag title match. Dream versus Breeze was good for what it was, not great, and no fault of the performers. Nobody bought Breeze, as being a legit threat. Nobody did, even though he did well. And the women's match just brought it down. Women's match brought it down to full grade. Had it not actually been for the women's match, I would have been at least close to giving this an A-. Seriously, if the women's match had actually been good and EO had won, I might have given this an A-. I'm going to give this a tentative B. I'm between a B- and a B. Because I enjoyed the first 2 matches, and I enjoyed the main event. Breeze and Dream was fine, but that women's match really, really drug it down. So I'm going to say B. Even though I want to lean on a B-, I can't discredit the performances of everybody else. And even EO doing well, and Shayna was just casting a role, doing her job. But the title's dead, means nothing. And the women's division is dead and basically means nothing, no matter how talented the women are. And I'm not upset because the heel won. Once again, I'm not upset because the heel won. It's because the booking is the same, and we are nowhere near what the women's division was even 2 years ago. And even then, you had Asuka's long title reign that was starting to hurt the women's division. The women's division has not recovered since Asuka's title reign. And I love Asuka, but the booking kind of made the women seem like jokes. They're like, okay, we can't take down this one dominant woman, and then she goes away. Ember has a limp run, now Shayna, then Kairi wins for 2 months, and now Shayna again. And none of the matches are very good. They're not bad, they're just not very good. This was the worst one, though. They really got to change things up for the women. If they don't hit a goddamn home run and have a new champion and make it a really goddamn good match at TakeOver Toronto, they might, have a women's division that is unsalvageable, at least for the next year. So anyway, B. Between B- and a B. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. You think the rants went too far? Well, I don't think so. Anyway, like, share, subscribe. Twitter handle in the description. I am John Ritlin, and I'll see you Monday.